with Claus, it's just is it an E at the end or it's just S-A-U-S?
E.
It's an E at the end.
E in Santa Claus?
I feel like it's
so.
just, I feel like it's just C-L-A-U-S.
Yeah, it's no E.
Okay, could be.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought there was an E.
I mean,
trying to picture it in my head.
Because I'm thinking of cause, like, or
yeah.
without the L. So
as long as you don't spell it like claws, then it's
right, absolutely. With a K.
Okay.
All right. You want to do it again today, Kelly?
Boss is coming. Boom shakalaka.
Top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world.
We are on top of the world. Right, Kelly?
That's not
I wouldn't say that either.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Worst Ones podcast. My name is Rudy Wilson. I'm one of your hosts. We got Kellie Leezy in the building, Terry Weezy in the building. We are all PKs. We are all hosts of this podcast. Shout out to Janessa, Rowland, or Rowleezy, if you want to keep the trend going. In her absence, she is studying and moving and being tired and trying to revive the ghetto garden and drinking Dunkin' Donuts and all that type of stuff. So we normally have guest hosts in her place, but we didn't have one for today. It's just the three of us. So you've seen this before. You're used to it. Terry.
Yes, sir.
I want to start with you today because this is the second time you've been in front of this painting on this podcast, and I think I love it even more the second time. I mean, this is just a really wonderful painting. So we can start with you with how your day is. Just
let me change location.
I love this one too. It reminds me of like Italy.
Yeah. Very, very dope. I love it.
Yeah, home goods, man. $30.
Love them.
You feel me?
Yeah.
How are you though?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right.
How's comedy?
I think I got to see comedy's going good. I got to see my brother here for the last week. I don't get to see him very often. He lives in Idaho. Yeah, so it was nice to get together. Yesterday when I had to bump out, that's where I was going. I had to go over to the Top Golf, play some with my dad and him.
Oh, fun.
In Idaho, do they make the joke about like Idaho, no, Idaho? Do they do that?
I bet they don't, but I bet people who visit do, and they're just like enough already.
Well, right. I've never visited, but definitely I know growing up, even in Atlanta, like that was definitely a big joke growing up in the black neighborhood.
Sure.
Idaho, no, Idaho.
Oh, Idaho, no, Idaho. All right. Goodness gracious. No, there's a lot of nothing. I've been to Idaho. There's a lot of nothing. It's a whole bunch of nothing everywhere you go.
Potato fields?
Yeah, I guess. But other than that,
gotcha.
No, he's a fireman up there. So
oh, nice.
But he likes the wilderness, so he likes being out in the middle.
Are there a lot of fires up there? Is he fighting a lot of fires, or is he?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But I know that they're joint like we are here, so it's fire and paramedic together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just fires. In fact, down here, I used to be an EMT way back in the day, and I worked with some of the fire departments. And 95% of the calls you go on to are medical related. If you don't include like car accidents, but I include that in medical related because very few cars burst into flames. We have very few fires down here. So.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Fair enough. Kellie Lee?
I have a question that I meant to ask you guys earlier on. So since our reunion or our in-person podcast, have you guys been in the same place again together?
Yeah, we did a comedy show together down in Miami.
Yes, I said I was looking through both of your Instagrams, and I'm like, they both have the same red.
It's Red Bar, yeah,
like the red background. I think Terry and Rudy are together again without the rest of us.
Well, to be fair,
start doing comedy. What do you
right. To be fair, we could have that could have happened without us being there on the same night, but it did just so happen to that we were there on the same night.
I said, was it playing that way? Like I didn't know if one person invited the other
Well,
person. Or
No, I didn't know he was going to be there. I was
yeah,
booked on that show.
Yeah, he was already on the show. Yeah, and I just happened to be in town and knew the host type shit. So
yeah, Rudy was doing a drop in.
Interesting. And that was like the week after or a couple of days after.
Yeah, it wasn't too
like,
much longer.
It was like the next week.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, when I saw it go up both on your Instagrams, well, I saw the red background, which was, you know, and I was like, wait a minute, that looks like the same place. And then I went to go do my female investigation. And so that it was the same place, but I forgot to ask you.
I'm glad you caught us cheating. All right.
Definitely cheated. I can tell you they cheated on me.
Right.
Just like a woman, always getting above her over something.
Cheated on us.
But
no, I'm doing well. I can't complain. Busy. I think I said that it's a busy week. I had a lot of meetings today.
Do you have something to complain about, or that you just won't complain about, or you don't have anything to complain about? Gotcha.
Work is this week is crazy in terms of work. But things have been working out well. I'm also doing, and I don't even know if you're supposed to talk about this, preacher's kids, you can let me know. But my church is doing a fast this week. And so
I heard you're not supposed to, but you know.
Yeah. And I think it's the purpose, and Terry may know, the purpose in which you're telling people that you're on a fast. But I'm gonna say it for this purpose. I really think that has alleviated a lot of the stress that I probably would have typically had as it relates to the craziness and the busyness of this week. Because this is like abnormally busy week. But I really feel like, you know, in that fasting space, you commune and connect with God a little more than usual. At least I do. And I really feel like that has helped settle me this week. So it's been good. Like I said, busy but good. I can't complain.
I usually try to sleep more during fast, so I won't feel it as much.
And
I try to get through the days faster.
and that's the thing, because I've been up earlier, and it's not a total like water only fast. It's no meats. Hey,
that cat looks pissed.
I thought you'd get a kick out of that.
Oh, cutie.
That cat looks pissed.
I'm allergic to cats, by the way.
She's not happy.
But it's no meats, no sweets, no carbs.
Okay. So you're not like
so
truly
I'm not
fasting.
Like so I'm not like not eating.
Because I've never understood the fasting thing. My dad used to do it all the time. He still does it every once in a while. And he doesn't, when he fasts, it's no joke.
No, like no food at all. No.
No food at all. Water and vitamins. That's all he'll do.
For how long?
His longest was a month.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's tapping into a whole nother level.
Oh yeah, no.
Tapping into a whole nother level.
Now I have done it myself, but I did it more as like a cleanse, you know, just for, you know, just to feel physically better.
Right.
So I would still drink like chicken broth and take vitamins and stuff like that. But I will say that once you get over the first day or two, like you do really start to feel better. But he says it helps him commune closer to God.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, when you're not thinking about what I'm gonna eat every second and what's for dinner or what's, you know, it does free up a little more time to, and if you're intentional about how you use that time.
But you have to be in that mindset, because if you are fasting and you're hungry, you're definitely thinking about food.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it gives you where the commune with God is, because you now have to be disciplined to deny that comfort zone, to say, okay, instead of me going to happy hour with the girls, eating, drinking, whatever, I'm going to instead pray or whatever it is that you're doing in the stead. And then that's what gives you that more focus to hear from God, because you're not putting yourself in that comfort zone. But if you don't have that mindset, speaking of myself, if you don't have that mindset, you will definitely be like, all right, I'm about to fast. And then, 12 hours later,
the first day is the hardest by far. First day is.
I mean, I ain't praying to nothing.
Yeah.
I am debating. Have I gone too far and I should just keep going, or I just started so I can go ahead and eat. That'd be my debate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just want to clear it up. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine. No, and I definitely get that because as I was saying, I think you kind of brought together what I was saying is that typically when I'm stressed, like I said, this abnormally busy week that I've had or that I'm having, I stress eat. I go to alcohol. And so it has taught me, or it has helped me to find, like I said, another way to cope.
What you drinking right now?
You said what?
What you drinking right now?
Water.
Oh, okay.
Water. But it's helped me to find like I said, a different way to cope, to go to God first versus the refrigerator. So I think that's been helpful, and definitely, like I said, and I feel better than, like I said, I think I would have otherwise. So,
you feel better because your body's cleaning out.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, that's what happens.
It's a mixture. It's a spiritual, a physical, a mental, a emotional. It's a whole person journey. To
be honest, and no offense to anybody who fasted for religious reasons, I just always thought it was kind of silly. Like God doesn't want this out of you. It's the same way I feel with the Catholics in Lent, you know. Like a lot of Catholics will give up whatever they love the most for 40 days for Lent. Mm-hmm. You know, and the reason they do that in Catholicism is it's a tribute to Christ's suffering, you know. So to quote like a Greg Giraldo joke, you know, so you're not going to eat chocolate for 40 days, just like dying on a cross, you know, like it just doesn't seem like something, you know, for a modern era that God would actually appreciate. I don't.
Well, I've appreciated this time.
I think it makes you feel great physically. I did a 5-day fast / cleanse not too long ago, and I felt amazing by the end. Mm-hmm. And the stuff that came out of me was crazy.
All right.
Probably like food I ate like 10 years ago.
Thank you.
No problem.
For that nice visual.
Okay. But if you do a full fast where it's liquids only, like, yeah, stuff's coming out. So.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm doing
just
wonderful.
Biology.
All right. How are you?
Still eating. You know, life's great, man. I wake up every day. I thank God for the freedom that I have, you know, the health that I have, you know. I'm out here chilling, man. You know what I'm saying? I get to walk around looking scruffy. You know what I'm saying? And in the words of Tabitha Brown, that's my business.
Yeah, your sister posted some pictures the other day of for your mom's birthday of the three of you, and I'm like, look at short hair Rudy. I said he looks so young and youthful.
Yeah. I'm still youthful and young. I just don't look it.
So young and youthful.
Yeah, it's definitely a baby face under this beard, but you know.
Oh.
You know, everybody.
Oh, you don't want to see me without facial hair. Even at 40, like I can take off 10, 15 years easy if I shave, but I look ridiculous.
I believe it.
Did you give us a picture for the gram with no, maybe you didn't. With no facial hair?
Not without facial hair.
Okay.
Unless I was a child.
No, you haven't done those yet.
Gotcha. All right. Okay. Well, it's on you, Terry. Tell the people what we're talking about today.
It's that time of year. Is the existence of Santa Claus a problem when it comes to, you know, religion and churches? Basically, is it okay if a church puts a Santa Claus in their Christmas decorations? Are they doing something wrong?
I don't know if I've ever even seen that before.
I have, and it was a scene, man. There was a scene. So
just imagine you see the nativity scene, but Santa there looking over in the in the little basket, like looking at
wise men and Santa.
Santa, right? Santa got his gifts.
The reindeer and the sled parked in the corner.
I'm not even joking. I would seriously get a tattoo of that. Just because that is the funniest image I've ever thought of in my life. Like Santa was there with gifts.
And put like a speech bubble of it over his face, like, "What's up, dude?" You know?
Right.
Ho ho ho!
Right. Nah, it's gonna say, "You don't mind if I celebrate with you? Can we share this day?"
I can't. Well, they already do.
Well, you know, they brought him frankincense and myrrh and gold. Maybe Santa brings him a PS5. How about that?
I said Santa gonna bring toys. He gonna bring real gifts.
What's a baby gonna do with myrrh? Come on.
I'm not even joking. I'm definitely getting that tattoo.
I cannot do it.
I'm definitely getting it. Absolutely.
So then with this tattoo, then what is your response to this question? Is there a problem with Santa Claus's existence?
Well, if he's getting a tattoo of it, I would think he'd say no.
Well, see the thing about it, I'm getting a tattoo. See, as a comic, Terry, obviously you would know this. I'm looking at the joke to make the point. So if I get a tattoo of Santa at the nativity scene with a bubble that says, "Can I share this day with you?" That's me obviously saying that people don't give a fuck about it being Jesus's birthday, as opposed to the whole Santa Claus thing. Which now, is it a problem for me? I have to think deeper about that for the sake of this podcast, because for me, Santa never existed. So I never cared who it was a problem for or not, I guess, so to speak. But I mean, does it hurt? I mean, I think it does hurt, but I think it hurts just as much as I think the rest of the festivities of
the Easter Bunny and
I was gonna say, don't even get us started. We're gonna wait for that one.
No. I'm talking about strictly Christmas. I'm not talking about Easter. I'm talking about strictly Christmas. Like the whole festivities of Christmas.
Oh, Christmas. Oh, gotcha.
To me, takes away from the reason for the season, equal to Santa Claus. So I don't think Santa Claus alone is the problem. I just think he's a part of the whole problem, especially if you're talking about the Christians' belief of what Christmas is all about.
Well, before we get all the way into that, we also need to talk about how Christ was born in spring, not in winter. His birthday was decided to be.
But that's irrelevant to what
it is kind of relevant.
It does. I'm saying it's not like Santa Claus is only allowed to come out in December.
I understand. Let me finish it.
If they change it to the spring, it would be the same thing. So I'm saying.
Okay. Well, let me finish it. No, because then it would be two different holidays. Because you got to remember, Santa Claus, he isn't here for Christmas. He wasn't invented for Christmas. The date of Jesus's birth was actually decided upon way after he died at the Council of Nicaea. And they chose December 25th because that was the winter solstice used by the pagans, and they were trying to convert the pagans to Christianity. So they basically just took the holiday and said, no, this is when Christ was born. So, but Santa Claus was invented for a different day. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it's a European holiday. And it's actually it's St. Nick's Day or St. Nicholas Day, which is actually on the 15th in December. 14th or 15th.
Right. But what I'm saying is this, regardless of how the days lined up, there's a lot of distractions when it comes down to the Christian belief. Now, when it comes down to the world, all of this shit doesn't matter because they don't give a damn about Jesus or whatever. But I'm saying if you're trying to do the whole like by the book Christian household bit, then Santa would be a problem, but to me, it's just not a bigger problem than all the rest of the distractions as well, is what I'm saying.
Sure. I mean, the commercialization is way worse than Santa ever was. But
I mean, he's just the star of the show. He's you know what I'm saying? Like he's the face of the brand, but he's not like single-handedly like slaying Jesus with, what, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know if Saint Nick himself is the problem. I do get why parents would want their kids to believe in it. You get your kids to behave. Like if you don't behave, you don't get gifts. Like I get it. But you you don't want to tell your kids that you're actually putting $1 under their pillow to throw their tooth in the trash. Like you say, the tooth fairy. So like I get the whole.
Some people do. Some people want to remove all the magic from a child's life as soon as possible.
But I'm saying like I get.
No, they do. Seriously.
Right. I'm saying I get both sides. Like I get it's a kid, the fairy tale, whatever. But at the same time, me being a kid who never got the chance to believe in the Santa Claus, and we didn't even. Like we weren't even stripped of Santa Claus with the teaching of he's the devil or whatever. It's just your parents are getting you gifts because your friends are getting gifts and you're too young to not understand. But at the same time, we're gonna bake this cake for Jesus. We're gonna sing happy birthday to Jesus because it's his birthday. We're gonna do X, Y, B, Z. We're gonna do whatever because so we never got the bashing of Santa speech. It just
so it sounds like your parents just wanted the credit for the gifts. Be like, no, Santa didn't get you those. We did. All right.
Well, no, but see, they didn't even do that. Cause see, my mom would even be my mom's so spiritual. I'm not even being funny. She would even say like, no, we'd be like, thank you, Mom, for the gifts. No, she'd be like, no, thank God because He gave me the job to have the means to get this gift. Like I swear, I'm not even being funny. That's how deep she used to go with it. So. My opinion on Santa Claus is kind of just whatever because I just never really had one. But I'll close it here, and Kelly, you please go. But once again, the point I'm making is Santa Claus is a problem, but he's not the sole problem. I feel like all of it together, when you're trying to do the Christian Jesus reason for the season route, is a problem.
So I would agree with some of that in terms of Santa Claus definitely takes away from the reason for the season, for sure. I mean, as we've talked about, my dad has been in ministry all of my life. Now, he hasn't been like a senior pastor, but he's been in youth ministry and in some form of ministry all of my life. And I grew up believing, I guess I believe that there was a Santa Claus, and I used to get gifts from Santa and my parents.
That's what happened to me.
Yep. And yeah, I would get gifts from Santa and my parents. And we would sing happy birthday to Jesus and pray and read the story of Jesus' birth and go to church and all of that too. You know, and so I got a kind of a mixture of both. Probably kind of like you said, Rudy, except your mom took out the Santa Claus piece of it. This is what everybody else is doing. And so I'm going to get you gifts too. You know, Santa Claus is such a mainstream idea. Hey, there's another one.
But did you
it's like super black.
We're just real quick before you keep going. Did yours, I guess, gift giving or whatever, when did the Santa Claus thing stop? Because and I really reason I say that because there was never a Santa Claus stop for us, but there was a gift giving stop because you're now old enough to realize you don't have to get gifts with everybody else. So what? But I know you still get gifts, but what was the Santa Claus cutoff?
So I can't exactly remember when the Santa Claus thing stopped. I mean, I guess late elementary school, probably early middle school. I don't know.
Yeah, for me, it was when we figured it out.
Yeah, I said I can't even really remember.
Okay, we can stop now.
Yeah, but but to be honest with you, my mom is so funny, so silly. She'll still put a gift under the tree and put to Kellie from Santa.
But that's just being cute,
right? I said, you know, and she does it. And a part of it, I think she does it because my nephews, at least my oldest nephew was 12, so of course he's like, oh my gosh, there's no Santa. My youngest is, you know, he's at the
I love when kids tell you there's no Santa, but they do it with like such arrogance. They're like, there's no Santa. It's like you just believed in him last year.
And he loves to tell
where is his arrogance coming from?
Right, his brother who was 5 years older than him, like, what do you like? There's no Santa. Just 5 years ago, you felt like less than that. You thought there was a Santa too, but like you said, he's so arrogant with it. Like, no, there's not.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a joke out of that.
So,
I'm just saying, so Rudy don't take it.
Because
trust me, sure.
My mom will write, you know, and I don't even know why my mom needs to give a gift to her grandkids and say from Santa. That's at the house, not, you know, but my mom does that too. So in the effort of everyone, you know, like I said, she's still cute in the sense of she'll still put to Santa. But I definitely always knew the reason for the season. And we celebrated, like we went to church. We didn't wake up. Maybe when I was young, we would wake up and open gifts first.
Mhm.
But as I got older, gifts were not the first thing we did in the morning. Gifts came after church.
Mhm.
Aw,
Yep.
that's sad.
Gifts came after church.
That's so sad to me because some of my greatest childhood memories are you waking up on Christmas morning and just running out to the tree
Agreed.
and
I
just to
think,
see what had come, you know?
right, no, and I remember those days too when I believed in Santa. I think also when we knew there wasn't a when I knew there wasn't a Santa anymore.
Mm.
In All right, well, we'll do the gifts after Christmas. But I definitely have those same memories of waking up early in the morning, running downstairs to see, bikes and easy bake ovens and baby dolls and all of, like, I can remember that vividly as well. But I think after a certain point, probably, like I said, probably that transition to Santa's not real, then it was, okay, we're going to do it after church. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
Well,
I-
I mean, it got that way sometimes, but not really, because once my parents got divorced, we had to split the day. That's what my parents came to. So my mom's time was the morning. She always wanted the
Okay.
morning. We make Christmas breakfast and do all this. And then, about 2 o'clock or so, it was off to dad's for Christmas dinner and all that. So
Got it.
so it was a different structure for me.
Would your experience have been any less if none of your gifts ever said Santa Claus on them, but you still got them?
Well, my parents only did one.
Well, I'm saying,
No,
I was
I'm
asking
saying like
Kellie,
they
but I'm
would
saying,
get
yeah, go ahead.
they would get us a bunch of gifts and it would say mom and dad, but then there would always be one that says Santa because Santa only brings you one gift.
Got it. But what I'm saying is, but I'm saying, but if you got that same amount of gifts, like if you're just say if your parents got their parents' name was on 12 gifts, Santa name was on one, that 13th gift. If you still got 13 gifts and there was never a Santa name, you never got to believe in the whole Santa Claus figure, would that have robbed your Christmas experience of waking up in the morning, going under the tree, seeing gifts, opening
I see
them
what
up?
you're saying. No, I think it probably would have done a lot more than that. Because when you're growing up, the biggest thing, and I think everybody can agree to this, the biggest thing when you're growing up is you just want to be like everybody else. You want to be normal. You want to be accepted. So if you're the one kid in your fourth grade class, he says, "What did Santa bring you?" He says, "Nothing." I guess I wasn't good enough this year. You know
Right,
what I mean?
but I'm saying, but I'm not saying for somebody who's not getting a gift. I'm saying you're getting gifts.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Right.
I get it, but you didn't
Right.
get one from Santa. It's like, no, I just got
You would
gifts from
have
my
to
parents. I
understand.
guess Santa hates me.
So
Yeah.
with that, right, your parents would definitely have to explain to you that
Yeah.
Santa isn't real, so you would have to have those conversations early on,
Right.
that Santa isn't real. But even when I think about raising my own children, I don't want my child to be the one in first grade at Christmas time saying everybody that Santa isn't real. Like, I don't want my child to be that killjoy. Like, I don't
What do
want
you mean
that.
killjoy? You mean ostracized completely?
Right, like, I don't want to be that, and so
I don't like Kelly. She ruined Christmas.
Right, but that I mean that's not synonymous. They don't just because they have an awareness of anything. I just like your kids are going to be raised that Jesus is real, but that doesn't but you don't want them to tell like a kid who's like a Buddhist or an atheist or whatever. Like you know what I'm saying. Like so, you can always tell your child like this is what we believe, but everybody doesn't believe it, so don't ruin whatever. But that doesn't mean that they have to.
Yeah, that could be
everybody else
counterproductive
believes.
though. That could be counterproductive because there all throughout human history, there's been roughly around 3,000 different religions, right? So basically, you're just teaching them that there's 2,999 other religions that you don't believe in, but just this one, and that's going to create seeds of doubt in them almost immediately.
How many people believe in all 3,000 religions though?
Well, hardly none, because if you believe in one, you have to believe in the other. But then it opens the door of like, well, why are there 3,000 if this is just the right one? And then I'm just saying, like, for the right kid, it's going to open up a lot of questions and a lot of doors that you're probably not going to want to answer.
Right, but what I'm
go ahead.
No, go for it. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say to that point, but at 6-7 years old in first, second grade, students aren't having conversations about is Jesus real? That Christmas is most definitely a conversation that they're having in gifts and parties and all of that thing.
Sure.
Definitely a conversation that you're having in early middle school. They're not having in-depth conversations about
I was.
Jesus and being
I definitely have for sure.
I was not. I will say in these times today,
I think it would be even worse now because of the more exposure they have. I think their conversations can get deeper.
Oh, 100%. Kids are way deeper now.
But what I'm telling you is, I've been in the school system working at an elementary school for 10 years. I promise you, their conversations are not that they don't have conversations about religion, but they have more conversations about Christmas and gifts during this time of year,
right?
Oh,
than
sure.
they do about.
But let's remember, they're still selfish little creatures.
But what I'm saying is, but if what you believe and what you're teaching your child is what you believe and what you're teaching your child, why not let that be for everything as opposed to everything except this one thing? Because you don't want your child to ruin it for somebody else. Like if you could teach your child anything. Like if you could teach your child, if somebody hits you, you don't hit them back. But then somebody at school could tell them otherwise, and then it's always, you know what I'm saying? There's always something that you're going to teach that somebody else is not going to believe. So why is the one Santa Claus thing the kryptonite in well, I don't want them to ruin this, so I'll allow them to believe in something that you even know, no matter what we feel about it personally, it definitely goes against just say the Christian belief. And you still want your child to believe that just for the sake of not ruining some other child's experience.
Well, that's not what I said. So I said that I didn't want my child to be that person that walked around and said that Santa isn't real. Right. So whether I teach my child or allow my child to believe that Santa is real or not, the conversation will definitely be, hey, not all people, believe what we believe. Don't go around, like, don't go with killing everybody, like you said, because like Terry said earlier, they get to this point where they're arrogant about it. They have this slice of information, this tea that no one else has, and then it becomes this combative type of conversation versus something meaningful and progressive.
And so kids aren't going to keep a secret. You can tell them not to say it all you want to, but when they feel like they know something that the other kids don't, they're saying it.
But I'm not even saying keep a secret. What I'm saying is that there's a lot of things that you're going to teach your kids that other kids may not be taught or even believe in. So but what I'm saying, but that's not going to stop you from teaching your kid what you want them to be taught. So I'm saying, and you never technically, I guess, answered if you would teach your kids that Santa Claus is real or not.
At this point, I don't know. Right. But I think what I will teach my kids, because like you said, my kids are probably going to have different views. Every kid has different views on a lot of different things because parents teach, environment, whatever. But what is important for me to teach my kids is how to have the conversation with someone else when their views, their ideas are different than yours.
For sure.
So I think that's the most important part to me. Because like, even like the example you gave about don't hit some, what was it? If somebody hits you, don't hit them back. Or, there's some parents that say, no, if somebody hits you, you hit them back.
Right.
And
that would be me.
And I teach my child, one way, and he goes to school. And now with social media, they get exposed to a whole lot of things that parents don't even get a chance to have a conversation with their kids. And they already have this, but what's important for me is my child knowing how to have the conversation with other people, even when their beliefs and ideas are different. I think is what's most important. Like I said, I don't want my child to be the one, like I said, being arrogant or combative or argumentative about whatever it is.
So let me ask you this. So let's take the whole argumentative side out of it. Let's take the snitching side out of it. Let's just take that out of the equation for 1 second. Them even ruin it for anybody, whatever. Just strictly off of principle, Christian, like even to the extent of the question that Terry posed today, is Santa Claus existence a problem? Like, do you think that it is, and I don't know if right or wrong, it has to be the answer, but do you think it's right or wrong when it comes down to you as a Christian, just say running a Christian household and teaching your kids about, like, even giving them the both, like there's a Jesus and a Santa Claus, and Santa Claus is bringing you gifts and Jesus is bringing you gifts. Like, do you think that's a problem as opposed to just saying like Santa Claus is a character, just like Frosty the Snowman is a character, just like the Grinch is a character? You get what I'm saying? And I'm talking about just strictly not Kelly. I'm just saying the Christian principle household is what I'm saying. Like, because we're preacher's kids, so we kind of speaking from the Christian community.
And now I would say again, as Kelly, I don't know if I was taught about Santa Claus as I was taught about Jesus. Those were two totally separate things. I'm sure it was, like I said, I can't remember those conversations, but I can imagine that it was more, like I said, because Santa wasn't a huge deal in my house. I may have gotten a gift from Santa. I probably have some pictures with Santa. But it wasn't, this huge thing. You gotta write a list to Santa. You gotta do that. Like it wasn't like this whole big thing from what I can remember. Did I get gifts from Santa? Did I take a picture with Santa? Did I do all of that? Most definitely.
We mainly did the list thing in school.
Right, like I said,
you write the list in school and then they tell you take it home to your parents.
And now you can't do that anymore, of course.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, you can't do that anymore. You can't even say Santa, like we're planning a holiday party now, what we call it a Winterfest. And you can do snowmen and those type of things, but Santa Claus and you can't do any of that in school anymore.
But Santa's not religious. I don't get that.
Can't do any of that in school anymore. Nope. So.
But wouldn't Santa be a problem, to Terry's point earlier, for just say the poor kid who doesn't get anything? So if everybody believes in Santa Claus and they didn't get anything and they behaved well.
Yeah. And they'll be like, this whole thing's a sham.
Right. I think that's the problem. I think
as opposed to just putting it on the parent. Like my parents is poor.
But that could be a problem with that too. So that could be a problem with the idea of gift giving in general. Back to why is the gifts even necessary? I remember enjoying Christmas because I tell you that Monday back from school in January, clean, fresh every time, and that's because whether there was a Santa or not, my parents had the means to get me what it is that I wanted. Whether there's a Santa or not, for those who are in need, they're still going to feel some type of way about not getting the gift, whether I didn't get it from Santa or I didn't get it from my parents, or I got socks and gloves because that's what the school collected and sent home with me Friday before, So I think that now that's definitely a problem with the whole idea of having to give gifts in general, because not everyone has the means to do the same thing that other people do, and that's why they have, the angel trees and, churches collect gifts and do those type of things to make sure that people in need can get it. But I do see that as a problem with gift giving in the idea of Santa Claus and someone bringing something and, and especially when you see the movies, hold on, because when you see the movies, when you see the idea of it, like you said, there's a tree and then there's thousands of gifts underneath the tree, and then so this is my fantasy, this is my idea of what it looks like as a 5, 6, 7-year-old, kid, and then I get to my tree, and then there's
if you got a tree,
right? If you have a tree, and there's one gift, there's 2 gifts, so I definitely see that as even beyond religion, just taking away the purpose of kind of why we're here, because not everyone has the same opportunity to do the same thing for their kids. So
can we at least agree? And first of all, the Angel Tree organization I used to work with numerous holidays, which was some of the best yet most awkward times ever, because when you show up to somebody's house and you're like, hey, we've got these gifts for you because we know you can't, they're really happy, but you feel really weird. You know what I mean? Like it's supposed to make you feel good, but it weirdly doesn't. It makes you feel like, okay, I'm not looking down on you though, I'm just trying to help. So I've got nothing but good things to say about them. But I think, can we all just agree on the demonization of Santa Claus is wrong? Like I told you guys before we started, my uncle calling him Satan Claus and putting up signs in his yard saying, Satan Claus isn't welcome here. And, and that demonization of Santa, can we, just as an idea, can we just say that is wrong?
Yeah.
Because I feel like just what from you just told me, the school's kind of doing it too. The whole idea about Santa Claus is just to promote the ideology of being generous, and being giving and being appreciative. That's why you leave cookies and milk out for Santa, is because you're trying to appreciate what he's giving you.
No, you're trying to woo him into getting a gift.
Oh no, it's too late. No,
that's why you're
supposed to be good the whole year.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you got to behave.
Yeah, behaving is one thing. I think parents just made that up.
Making a list and checking it twice. Santa is a hard motherfucker, man.
But that's the evolution of it. That's not where it started.
Jesus is offering forgiveness. Santa want perfection. And y'all want kids to believe.
Hey, Jesus got rules too now.
Jesus is not checking lists twice. None of that.
God has a list too. There's 10 things on it.
But he sent his son, and all you got to do is just believe in him. And listen, your list can be overflowing like a CVS receipt, because
why can't we just look? They both have beards. One of them's brown. One of them's white. Why can't we just say that Santa is old Jesus?
I don't know about that. In reference to the whole demonization of Santa being wrong,
mm-hmm.
I'm not going to use the word wrong. Is it necessary? No, but wrong. I don't think that deeply enough about it. Whether I feel like it's like wrong, like it's a person, and we're like, they don't cancel. Because I don't think Christmas would go away if they said you can't say Santa ever again. You feel what I'm saying? Like, because the biggest magic in whatever movie you see, like whether it's about Santa Claus or just a family, it's the going to the tree in the morning with the gifts, opening it up, everybody in pajamas, throwing paper. That's the magic. You outside riding your bike, the neighbor got their bike. Like that's the real connection. And I think if Santa Claus didn't provide that, I don't think it would be a disaster. Is it cool to have? Does it add flair? Big jolly guy, whatever, sure. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think Santa, to me personally, I don't think Santa is that deep where if you strip him from it. But and on the flip side, sadly to say, I think if you strip Jesus from it, I don't think it would disappear either.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about that. Well, yeah, no, I mean, like, look, if you took every religious text on the planet to do with Christianity and you destroyed them all, in 1,000 years, Christianity is not going to exist again. It's not going to come back on its own without the doctrine. It's just not going to, at least not in its same form. It might be something, a variation or different, but
right. No, but
the whole thing with Santa, Santa Claus started as Saint Nicholas in Scandinavia and Northern Europe. Like, it had nothing to do with this. Like I said, the day was different. And he was a figure that was just meant to represent kindness and generosity. And he would just go around and give free gifts to children on this one day, So it originally didn't even have anything to do with Christmas. And it didn't have anything to do with being good or bad. Every kid got a gift. So it's kind of evolved over the years. Now all of a sudden you got to be good, and just look at the Elf on the Shelf. We just started that. Like 20 years ago, somebody just started that and said, "Oh, this is Santa's little spy, and do you guys know what the Elf on the Shelf is?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, this is Santa's little spy. We're going to put him up here, so he's watching you. And that is just something parents made up to help control their kids. That's it.
Right.
I don't disagree with that at all.
We've been doing that for hundreds of years. We just make shit up. And if it lasts long enough, it just becomes the way it is.
But which is why I say I don't think it's necessarily wrong, or I just think it's just unnecessary. Like, is it necessary to go out your way and be trying to like bash Santa? I don't think it's that deep. But
no, I think it just makes you a wet blanket.
Right. But I don't necessarily think it's wrong. Like, I don't think Santa is what? Go ahead, Kelly.
No. I had already said. I mean, no, go ahead.
I thought you were getting ready to say something.
But again, it all comes down to where your priorities at, because that same person that I'm telling you about that was all against Santa and whatnot, and he's so devout, and he's like, everything has to be about God and Jesus and my religion. And, like I said, he's pretty Pentecostal, even though it's different now. But anyway, but that same guy has accumulated quite a bit of money and quite a bit of possessions and quite a bit of this. I mean, if being Christ-like is so important to you, why don't you cast off all those worldly goods and serve mankind like you're supposed to. So why is Santa so bad and you having 3 or 4 cars is good?
I mean, I feel you. I just still don't
Yeah.
think it's wrong. I just think it's unnecessary.
I mean, so I would agree with you, Terry, in your question of
It's fun for kids. That's why it's necessary. It's just a fun thing so kids can feel like there's a little more magic in the world until they grow up and realize there isn't.
But what I'm telling you, as a person who never had to believe in Santa Claus, it was the joy of me having a scooter and my neighbors having a scooter is where I found my joy. Like, I didn't care where it came from. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, like, Santa is I agree, it is a cool thing to have. I get that. But I also don't think he's 100% necessary, that if he was taken away, that the magic of Christmas would.
You're saying you're still going to enjoy the day. You're still going to enjoy your presents.
Right.
But the only difference is it took a little bit of magic away from the world for you, and not just for a time period. And I mean, I'm talking about like from maybe 2 to 8. That's probably,
It's light seasoning.
Yeah. And I think because
it's something.
If Santa was real and actually dropping off gifts through your chimney, I think that we would be doing a disservice to the world by removing Santa. But since Santa does nothing, I would agree.
Right. You mean like if he was a real person?
Right. Right. So if we were talking about Santa, a real person dropping off gifts, and now we are stopping these young kids where parents can't buy gifts, and like I said, and Santa is giving gifts, and religiously, then I would have an issue with that, especially when you talk about people without means. But because Santa, like I said, doesn't really do anything, then I agree. Taking away Santa doesn't really change anything, right? Will it change the magic? Some of the magic in it, people stand in line for hours to get a picture with Santa, to put on a mug, to drink coffee out of Christmas morning, like that's the huge thing. And I still very much enjoy the holiday season.
Hang on, just before you keep going, we have a little bit of a conflict here. I wanted to make sure I was right. Saint Nicholas was an actual real person. He was a bishop living in the 3rd century, which is now modern day Turkey.
He don't listen, Kelly. He don't listen.
Said what?
He don't listen, Kelly.
She said if Santa Claus was real.
If he was actually sliding through chimneys and dropping off gifts especially to the kids who can't get them, is what she said.
Yeah. But I'm just saying he isn't a real person now, but he was a real person.
If that Wikipedia that you're reading doesn't say that he was sliding through chimneys, dropping off kids to the presents to kids who can't get them, then your point is not valid to what Kelly is saying.
All of that was true except for the sliding through chimneys.
Wow.
The rest was absolutely true.
So Saint Nick, I said
no to his community.
Exactly. Okay.
But he also encouraged other people to do the same.
This is square one. That's what we're back to. We're back to square one.
Oh, and it was December 6th, by the way. I was wrong.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Kelly.
But no, I mean that's all I was saying. That because Santa Claus doesn't really do anything, I don't think it would change anything at all. Actually, like we talked about before, I think that people will probably be able to kind of save more money and more time and more energy in life if Santa did not exist.
And I think go. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
No, I was about to say, but to Terry's point, I also do understand the magic of it all.
Right. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's almost like if Christmas was like, just say, a barbecue rib or whatever, and it already was flavorful, but then Santa Claus was like some type of little barbecue sauce just to add to it. Like, it don't need it, but sure, maybe it's better with it, sure, whatever. But if you didn't have the sauce, you're gonna still fuck the ribs up. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
And how about this? Just for a little extra zhuzh, remember I told you that Jesus' birthday was decided at the Council of Nicaea? Mm-hmm. Council of Nicaea was in 325 AD. But St. Nicholas was born in 270 AD. So he actually predates Christ's birth being on Christmas.
Okay.
Just saying he was there first. He was there first.
But I've already said if you took Jesus out of Christmas, I don't think it would disappear either. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I was just throwing it in there because I didn't know that until just right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't like to say, because to me it's more big business to me. Like if I'm a company and it's the end of the year and I'm getting rid of shit like Black Friday, Christmas, whatever, like that's what this is for. And Santa Claus and all this other stuff just helps sell it. Like,
but they're gonna do that with everything.
But I'm saying, but think about when you see Christmas lights and wreaths and shit like that. That makes me feel like I'm in the spirit. Like I hear the Christmas music playing in the store. You want to spend money. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's a so for me,
it makes you feel good, and when you feel good, you want to spend more
right.
money.
But what I'm saying is, but that part doesn't come from me, whether I take a picture with Santa or not. It's the whole just ambiance.
Not for you because you didn't have Santa.
No, but I'm saying in general, if Santa or Jesus did not exist in Christmas, I think certain people would be upset, obviously, but I think the whole big Christmas would not disappear because the magic is in the gift giving and receiving and being with family and seeing the tree and the whatever.
I think there'd be a lot of sad 5-year-olds out there that they wouldn't be as happy as if they did have it.
Because there'll be a lot of people who will make it to 5 that'll never know about Santa Claus and they'll just be like, yeah, and they because gifts, this is what we want. We want stuff. That's what we want.
Yeah, but it's I don't know, man. It feels different when it's a little kid. You know, when it's a young kid and they're, because their brains aren't developed. So they're just easier to trick.
But you once again, you going off of when we were kids. These kids are more developed than us because they got exposure.
Still.
And I wonder the percentage of adults our age that believed in Santa Claus and the percentage of students now or kids now that believe in Santa Claus. I wonder what that looks like. I
bet the age when you find out Santa isn't real is definitely younger. Yeah. But I've got 2 nephews that I have watched over the years, and it wasn't very long ago when Santa was very much real to them. And that's, I don't know exactly when they stopped. I think it was like around 7 or 8 when they stopped believing, but it was definitely there. And, like I said, it just feels more magical. Just feels like the world is a little bigger, because once you start taking this stuff out.
But see, once again, it feels magical to the people who can actually receive gifts, because if you can't, you fuck Santa. You feel what I'm saying? Just think about it. Like if I'm a parent who can't get my kid gifts, I almost love Santa because it takes the pressure off of me. Like I'm don't look at me as the person who couldn't do it. Santa didn't do it. You feel what I'm saying? But as a kid, like if there was no Santa Claus and it was just strictly based off of what your parents could get you, well, that would be my everyday life. So I've been seeing you eat steak and lobster and me eat noodles. So if Christmas, if you got nicer stuff than me, like that's an everyday thing. But if I'm expecting Santa Claus, like, okay, I behave, I made my list. I'm gonna send it off to him and he's going to give me these things because I followed the rules, and I don't get it. Not because Santa Claus didn't think I was good enough. It's because in real life, my parents couldn't get it. And so now I don't get that same magic.
The magic is
cool as long as you can get it. That's what I'm saying.
Every parent has the ability to get their child a gift. I don't care what you say.
No.
Nobody's that poor because things like Angel Tree exist. Things like Toys for Tots exist. So if you're that poor to where you can't go down to the dollar store and spend $2 or $3 to at least get some little stuff or something.
You can't make that assumption. You don't know every person in the world.
No, but I know about the world. And if you can't, and that's fine. If you ain't got $2 or $3 extra to spend, Dollar Tree, that's fine. That's when these programs come into place. If you want to give your child a gift, there's nothing in this world that needs to stop you.
But those programs don't accept every single person. And they all have a limit.
If you don't have $2 or $3, you will get accepted.
But I'm saying, but there's more people without $2 or $3 than there is the capacity that they have to accept, is what I'm saying. So you can't tell me that there's somebody in the world that's not going without a Christmas present. Like that's
or
impossible.
at least a Christmas present that they wanted.
Well, now see, that's a different
And so,
story.
right.
If
And
it's
so,
a desire, if it's a want,
right. So I wanted a PS5, as someone said earlier, and I got some little trinkets from the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
Definitely going to feel like you said, and like Rudy said, I was good all year.
I followed the rules.
Yeah. Right. I followed the rules. My mom held this over my head all year,
Right.
and then I wrote a PS5, or a pair of Jordans, and
I didn't get nothing on your list.
I got some shoes from Dollar General, and some little toys from the Dollar Tree.
Well, that's when you lie to him. You say like, well, he's not allowed to sell PS5. It's a legal thing. It's copywritten.
But it's a nigga at the school with a PS5 who believe in Santa as well. And Santa dropped him off one.
Yeah.
So once again, I'm gonna hate Santa. I'm going to hate Santa because
you're
I
right,
followed the rules and I did, and I made a list, and you gave me something I didn't list none of this. Nothing you gave me was on my list.
I didn't tell you to give me a cap gun.
So now, so now when I go to school and stuff, now I'm gonna act bad. Why be good? Because I don't. There's no reward for it for me.
Right.
There's kids who act bad who still got Jordan, who still got whatever, and it's because not Santa, but they parents,
right,
can afford it. That's what I'm saying. So Santa's cool. I'm not. If Santa,
I think what we came down to here at the end is each situation's different, so just handle yours accordingly.
But we say that about everything. But I don't say that about this. I say fuck Santa. Let's get Santa all the way out of there and just buy gifts. If you want to buy gifts, just buy gifts. But
he's a real sweetheart, folks.
Well, we don't because I'm rooting for the underdogs.
And you know what?
The underdogs don't
fuck
get
the
everything.
Easter Bunny. Fuck the Tooth Fairy. Get them all out.
Well, the Easter Bunny don't really do nothing. I mean, what you just do?
He brings you chocolates.
But everybody.
He hides the eggs, which I've never understood.
Right.
It's like Jesus is coming back. Quick, hide the eggs. Like that's
the farthest Easter Bunny.
He hates eggs.
Is the costume. Anybody think about Easter Bunny.
I think my closing statement before you're probably gonna kick it to church announcements is this has made me want to call my social worker first thing in the morning to say what do we need to do now
to get some kids some presents.
Right. I think that is what's first on my plate.
That's what Jesus would want you to do for his birthday.
Yes.
But Santa will want you to receive him while the other kids gotta suffer.
I don't think that's what Santa wants, man.
Well, no, because if that's not what he wanted, he would have gave them kids some gifts. But Jesus saying, listen, y'all with the means, give it to them. That's what Christmas need to be about. Everybody who got the means don't get shit. You buy gifts for the poor.
I think for
the poor, and don't give them no bullshit. Don't try to go to the dollar store. Buy what you would want. Make your list and buy them that. Louis Vuitton, red bottoms, PS5s, all that.
Let's cut it down the middle.
Real.
Here, let's meet in the middle. Ready? So for every toy you buy your kid and you tell them it's from Santa Claus, you have to buy another toy and give it to one of those organizations.
No.
What do you mean no? You give one to somebody less fortunate. You give one to your own kid.
No, you can give your kids gifts. You can give your kids gifts.
I think that's fair.
I
think Rudy's being unreasonable.
No, you can give your kids gifts 364 days out the year. But on Christmas, if you have money or middle class or whatever, you don't get shit. Okay, you buy stuff for the people who can't afford gifts, and don't buy them bullshit.
Do you think that middle class people just get gifts all the time?
I was middle class. Yes. You write your list and you check it twice and you make sure that you buy everything on that list that you want for yourself, you get it for somebody else.
That's on my birthday and Christmas, and that's it.
That's what Christmas need to be about.
My birthday, Christmas. Those are the 2 days I got gifts.
I don't get them on either, so whatever.
Well, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry your life has been less magical than it could have been.
I was with you motherfuckers on my birthday. Eating pancakes and telling jokes.
That was the day before your birthday? You
went
to Stone Mountain Park on your birthday. Waffle House. Social media stalker. Wow. Church announcements. Thank you all for continuing to listen. Rudy was definitely on 100 today.
Mm-hmm. He hates gifts. He hates
this Christmas season in Rudy is something.
We're a year later and he still hates presents.
We in the same place we were this time last year.
It's not presents, it's Christmas presents. But I like presents. It's Christmas presents.
Right. Glad we didn't get him a birthday present because clearly
Yeah.
you don't get Rudy presents.
Oh, I thought driving up there and making him breakfast was enough, but
No,
you know.
it was seriously.
That was amazing.
You guys were wrong.
But follow us on Instagram at the worst ones PK. Thank you to our 500 million followers, 500 million 1,000 followers. But follow us on the worst ones PK.
And thank y'all for listening all the way through the holidays. We are sacrificing, shooting double episodes and stuff to make sure that you guys get this content. So I also want to shout that out to my crew here and Janessa.
When you're having your holiday functions, make sure you just put these on in the background so you can start arguments.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And so when you're putting this on in the background of your holiday functions, how to find us is on YouTube or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find your podcast.
There you go.
Type in the Worst Ones Podcast, and when you get there, make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, and you share. Again, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for making it this far. We appreciate and we love you. At Princess Kels 51.
Hey.
Never gets old.
Right.
Oh, at Terry Wayne Comedy for all your horrible comedy needs. That's on all social media platforms. Still got the tour going, Wizard of Oz, with 3 other great comedians. One of them actually had to pull out of some shows. His parents back in India both were hospitalized with COVID. But I hear they're doing well. I hear the father's still on a ventilator, but so keep them in your prayers. And Rudy, stick around after because I got to talk to you about some of that stuff. And if you want to catch me, I am in Miami on the 18th with the Wizard of Oz, and that is at Just the Funny.
Sweet. Just the Funny. Shout out Just the Funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like that place. For myself, at Rudy of All Trades, just like Jack of All Trades, except Rudy. It's my personal page, and at the podcast official page. If you want to join that conversation, we shoot it on Zoom live. You can join the Zoom 815-499-0955. Last Monday of every month, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Melanated Brews, all things beer and coffee. That's Janessa's business page. Did the sound just go out? I felt like something just happened.
Nope.
There was definitely a white noise that just kind of disappeared. I don't know. Did Terry, you unplugged for something? Terry's frozen. That's what it is. I'm about to say something just happened. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm like, I hear some type of change just happened. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And at J Rihanna _ is her personal page. Shout out J Rihanna, Janessa Rowland in her absence.
We miss you. We love you.
And of course, interested sponsors, holla at a player if you want to sponsor this beautiful podcast that we got going. Wrapping up season 1, we got one more episode. Even into season 1, we come back strong. Actually, no, this is the last episode of season 1. This is it, guys. This is the last episode of season 1.
This is it for the year, huh?
This is the next one. The next episode will be season 2, episode 1.
Oh. Well, again, thank you all for rocking with us this first season.
Well, now I'm really bummed out that Janessa isn't here.
I know that you won't be here for the last one.
This is the last one. He just said.
Yeah, I was going to say, and the first one.
She won't be here for the last one and the first one. So.
Well, we miss you, Janessa. We love you.
Oh well. Well, until next time, or until next season. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Make 2022 better than 2021 and all the other ones. Yeah, we out.
Love y'all.
Top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of of the world.